Hello and welcome to World Have Your Say. Barack Obama may be at the G8 summit in Italy right now, but it's his visit to Ghana that you're already discussing. In a few hours' time, President Obama will step off Air Force One and be greeted by the expectations of a continent. But is there a danger that those of you in Africa are maybe hoping for too much? And if you're American, do you feel some people lose sight of the fact that Barack Obama is your leader and not the world's? And of course, the rest of you are also welcome to take part. Here's how. So if you want to go to the blog, it's worldhaveyoursay.com. You can call us country code 442070 83 72 72. The conversation's actually be underway for several hours at worldhaveyoursay.com. Here's Coco saying, I'm from Darfur and we're still suffering. We thought Obama would solve our problem very soon, but he's done very little. And Jude in Nigeria says, Africa should learn not to expect too much from the West. Obama is the American president. And as you post, some of your messages will be coming up here on the big screen in the World Have Your Say studio as well. But let me introduce you to three people sitting with me here. We have Nelson, Alice and Tony. Great to see all three of you. Now, Nelson, you're half Ghanaian, half Nigerian. Alice, you're 100% Nigerian. And Tony, you're also 100% Ghanaian. Let me ask you one thing. We haven't managed to fix it up, but if President Obama was sitting at the table with you, what would you ask him? What one thing would you ask him to do for your continent? Nelson, you first.
Well, I'd apologise and say I'm not able to mention just one thing. I'll mention three things. I'd ask him to promote good governance by not cuddling up to a friendly dictator, assist both practically and financially on healthcare issues, and help eradicate corruption.
Alice?
Well, I would say that this is his opportunity to enable Africans to actually develop Africa, because I do not agree that there should be aid, because Africa is rich enough to be able to manage her resources and therefore move and sit on the table around everybody else. He should make sure that African leaders don't get away with murder.
But Alice, when Barack Obama leaned back to you and said, but Alice, how am I going to do that? What would you tell him?
Well, I would tell him that what he should not do is patronize African leaders who are corrupt. Don't sit on table with them. Tell them that they need to respect the rights of their people and not kill them.
I can see Nelson nodding his head as well. Tony, what one thing would you ask of Barack Obama?
Investment in education in particular, because I believe education is a way out of poverty. If they're able to build more schools, universities, and educate the people, they will learn to do things for themselves.
That's right.
Rather than looking up to outsiders. Even all these expectations, on Obama, it's because people don't even understand the way the system works.
But yes. All three of you, let me ask you this. When we've talked about Barack Obama in Africa before on the radio with World Have Your Say, people always say he can improve education in Africa. You all have friends and relatives who are at school. How can he actually improve education?
He cannot do it. African governments, because nobody has gone to America to improve the education of America. I mean, African leaders need to understand that their role as government is to ensure that their citizens are educated, that there is health care, that they have to perform the functions of governance. In Africa, they don't govern. They're sitting down and hoping that somebody from outside is going to come and do it for them.
Well,
and then the resources go for themselves.
Nelson, Tony and Alice, great to have you on the programme. We'll be hearing from you throughout. Now, if you want to speak to them, do get in touch through the blog. We'll get you up on the phone or read your emails out as well. But let's go live to Washington, D.C. Brett Schaefer is from the Heritage Foundation, which is a conservative think tank in Washington, D.C. Brett, great to have you on the programme.
Thank you for having me.
And, well, we've heard from three Africans with a list of things which they want from your president. Are you happy for him to oblige?
Well, it'll be interesting. I think the United States, under the previous president, under previous administrations, and under President Obama, will continue to try and assist Africa in achieving a lot of those different goals. But when President Obama did an interview with allafrica.com earlier this month, I think he made a very important point, and that is the responsibility for development and advancement in Africa is primarily in the hands of Africans themselves, primarily in the hands of their government. And it's up to those governments to undertake the policy proposals and undertake the actions necessary to allow Africans themselves to excel, allow Africans themselves to take advantage of their opportunities, and it's up to Africans to hold their governments accountable for their successes and for their failures. The U.S. can help doing that. but it can't replace the actions of African governments and the actions
Brett,
of
this is
African,
Nelson, a half
individuals
Ghanaian, half
themselves.
Nigerian gentleman in the studio who wants to speak to you.
Brett, it would be fantastic if your government actually practiced a policy where they were actually encouraging governments to actually, encouraging governments to act in a very, very responsible and prudent manner. For example, it would particularly be nice if your foreign secretary, your former foreign secretary, Condoleezza Rice, Secretary of State, I beg your pardon, wasn't embracing dictators in Africa, such as the chap from Equatorial Guinea or Gaddafi earlier on today, who Barack Obama was seen shaking hands with. It's one thing to preach democracy and good governance in the evening, but it's another thing to shake the hand of a dictator of close to 39 years in the morning. It's just contradictory. It doesn't make sense.
Brett, would you like to reply?
Well, the gentleman makes a very good point. The world is full of unsavory individuals, and a lot of those unsavory individuals are in Africa. A lot of those unsavory individuals are in the Middle East.
And the United States.
Unfortunately, unfortunately, governments have to deal with each other on a number of different issues. But he's absolutely right that you shouldn't tolerate that you shouldn't be silent in the face of a lot of oppression. And the U.S. needs to be outspoken in advocating for democratic governments, for accountable governments, and for fighting corruption as well. And I think that the U.S. has been a consistent voice on those issues, although it has been forced to deal with a number of situations where, unfortunately, they've had to deal with individuals they would rather not in other circumstances.
If you're just turning on BBC World News, you're watching World Have Your Say, and we're asking if Africans are expecting too much of Barack Obama, who's due to arrive in Ghana in the next few hours. We have three guests here in the World Have Your Say studio. In a moment, we're going to speak to an Oxfam spokesperson who's been attending the G8 conference. Of course, Brett from the Heritage Foundation will be coming back live from Washington, D.C. as well. But first of all, let's go to Shaima Khalil. She's from the World Have Your Say team. And as you send in text messages, tweets, emails and so on, they're all coming to her, and we'll go to her several times during the programme. What have you heard so far, Shaima?
Ross, this is on Twitter from Renewal. She says, I hope Obama addresses the plight of widows, women and children in Africa today. Another tweet from Christoph saying, Ghana is one of Africa's success stories, politically, economically, and deserves the spotlight from Obama's visit. This is from Steve in Virginia saying, there are 10 cities all over the nation. People are losing their jobs. Detroit has the highest unemployment rate in the nation. So if Obama can't really help America, how is he going to help Africa? And this from Kelly in Chicago saying, Obama is the U.S. president, and we have enough problems here. What about the blacks who are suffering in poverty in urban areas? Now remember, you can join the discussion too on the blog on worldhaveyoursay.com or join us on Twitter.
Shaima, thank you very much indeed. And just above you on the big screen here in the World Have Your Say studio, Christabel has appeared. Now, it's a little complicated, Christabel. You're from Sierra Leone, you live in Nigeria, but you're live from Washington, D.C. Great to have you on the programme. Do you think Sierra Leoneans are expecting too much of Barack Obama?
We're not. I don't think so. We're a bit disappointed he didn't choose us because we did just come through a successful democratic elections where we changed from one party to another.
I don't think you're the only Africans to be disappointed. Nigerians in particular seem to have had their nose put out of joint. But carry on.
Yes. So I don't understand the real reason he's going for this quick stop over in Ghana. I know Ghana's well deserving of the stop. But what I would expect from Barack is that he hold to his pledges. He's been known to, he's just started his tenure, but he's been known to already be breaking promises to Africa. And I've just read this morning that they've pledged $20 billion at the G8 summit to help farmers in Africa be more self-sufficient. I like that pledge. I just hope that he'll hold to it. I think he's going to pledge $3 billion towards that $20 billion.
And it's worth mentioning to all of you watching that it's terribly confusing at the moment exactly what has been pledged. We have $20 billion going towards African agriculture, but then it's not clear how much of that is new money. And then if we go back to 2005, we have the G8 meeting at Glen Eagles, where there are still $20 billion short of the pledges that were made there. So it is terribly complicated. Now, we heard from Christina there from Sierra Leone, live from Washington, D.C. Let's go across to Tabs, who's joining us from Johannesburg, a good friend of World Have Your Say. Nice to speak to you again on the programme. Do you think that South Africans are hoping for too much from Barack Obama?
I don't think we've seen too much of him already, Roz. I mean, we've just already had our election of Jacob Zuma, our president, who's been here, which was a great opportunity for Obama to come and, you know, introduce himself to our country. Second to that, there was the Confed Cup where his boys were coming to play. In fact, they got so far as the semi-finals and the finals of the Confed Cup, and still we had no view of Obana. You know, we realize that we are an independent country. We've gone through our own trials. If there are any expectations, I think there is a viewpoint in the policies and the policies that America would support in the exploitation of Africa and our resources.
Now, Tabs, let me interrupt you. You're not particularly happy he didn't come down to see America lose to Brazil in the Confederations Cup final, but he is saying he's going to come for the World Cup next year. So it's not like he's snubbing South Africa.
We have heard that promise, and we are hoping for it.